I suppose first things first, how did the Rainworth Pétanque club come about?
I used to play at Mansfield Titchfield Park. The reason I went to play there, I had a game in Spain on holiday and I rather took to it. So then I joined the nearest club at that time was Mansfield Titchfield Park. I played there for a while. Then I went to Fernwood at Newark, just the other side of Newark, so over the A1. I was going there 5 days a week, 18 miles each way. And I thought, well, this is a bit silly. So after about a year and a half, I decided I'd had enough of that and decided to start something in Rainworth. I approached the council and they gave me permission to start on a field that was really sloping. And I said, what was in here before? It was the playground for the kids, but they ruined it all the time, so they had to take everything off. I thought, well, what's the point of me coming here if they're going to ruin what was for them? So I saw the welfare trustees. They very graciously let me have this piece of land here for 25 years at a peppercorn lease. I started working November 15 with a barrow and a shovel, and my first 7 pieces were ready in April the 23rd, 16, when I opened the club. Wasn't long before I got 2 or 3 there. I got a lot of interest because the Renfest people, who have a fete every year in the village, invited me to put a small lane up there and show people how to play. I did that, and in no time at all, there were people coming down here to join, and we've never looked back. At the end of the first lockdown, I had 95 members. They're coming back slowly. I've got 70 members now, signed up since April the 1st, and to my mind, that's thinking good going. I nearly said something else then.
I'm looking out of the window.
Yes.
There's all sorts of people here. There's a lot of people here.
Yeah, there is, yeah.
What is it attracts people to Pétanque?
We do have quite a few people who are on their own, and it's the companionship, I think. Plus, it's the exercise, it's the somewhere to go to get out of the house and to meet other people. And there is an element of competition here because we do play competitively as well. It's nice to be with somebody, isn't it?
Is it quite a good-natured sport?
You can have your moments, but generally speaking, we have got a very good-natured club. This sort of play here, it's only a practice day today. There's no problems. You tend to get a bit of tension, higher the league you are. You know, the higher you play in the league or competitions, you get a bit of tension. But generally speaking, it's quite a good-natured sport.
I suppose that's like any sport, isn't it? The higher up you go, the more competitive it gets.
That's right. Another attraction of this sport really is that once you've got your bulls, it's the cheapest sport you can ever play. These will pay £1 now, and they'll be playing till 4 o'clock. In fact, we don't shut at 4, it's if they want to go at 4. Normally, when the canteen's open, for that £1 as well, they get tea or coffee and cakes and biscuits. Now, can you do that at home?
How much does a set of bulls cost?
They vary. You can get what we call dog bulls, that is non-competitive bulls, and you can get them from about £30 upwards. But my bulls, for instance, was £200. The set I've got now, that was about £230. I've got 2 or 3 sets knocking about somewhere.
But once you're paid for the bulls, there you go, that's it.
Well, we
set up.
We pay £20 a year membership, and I don't think that's bad. I mean, look what they've got for it, £20 plus £1 every time they come to play. But normally, as I say, when COVID lifted, they will be having tea and coffee for that £1 as well as the games.
What effect has COVID had on the club, and what effect is it continuing to have, the COVID restrictions?
We're restricted in how we can play. We do have to have social distancing. I mean, that's becoming the byword, isn't it now, social distancing? At the most, we can play 56 people on the 25 piece because we have to have a piece either side of a game free. It's done me a favour because I can come down on my own and get some work done. And all these cabins and everything, they've just been repainted and everything. It's given us a chance to spruce up the club. But on the downside, there's been no income. We've been spending club money, but no to replace it. hopefully within a couple of months we'll be back to normal. I mean, last year we're supposed to have gone to the Isle of Wight for a Pétanque weekend. Unfortunately, Isle of Wight tours went bust. Since then we've not been able to do anything because of this COVID thing. You can't go anywhere. Just now, you can travel now a certain amount of distance to play competition, and then that's it.
There's been a lot of talk about mental health and exercise during lockdown, and I'm looking at people out there now enjoying themselves, and I'm wondering how important this is to people, just to be able to get out, stay at a safe distance from another human being and participate in a group activity.
Well, this is one of the few sports where we can maintain social distancing and still enjoy each other's company. The very nature of the sport sort of splits you up. There's St Andrews up the road on the way to Mansfield, and they are for slightly mentally challenged people, yeah? And up until the initial lockdown, we used to have a minibus come, didn't we? Every Monday, and initially I took them to one side with their helpers and taught them how to play. And then eventually one or two of the members started to come play with them, and they got very good. And then lockdown come. But they were talking, once they got their new annual monies from wherever they're going from, of building two-piece up at the hospice for them.
What does the future hold for Rainworth Pétanque Club?
What it holds, I don't know. But what I would like it to hold, I've gone a long way to promoting this club as a national venue. To that end, we've got 2 national events in October up here. Pétanque England basically is from the south. All the big venues are down the south. But by increasing the piece to the 25 that we have now, and perhaps a bit more in a bit, it would give a facility that they can come and use as a northern venue. Ekman White, they've got 22 piece, and they do have quite a few nationals in the northern sector, but we're hoping to get this one into the Midlands, and I think we are going a long way to achieve that. We're discussing at the moment some form of canopies to go over the piece, but that's a bit ambitious, but I'm sure we'll get there eventually.
I don't know, you've done pretty well so far, so...
If I can find... Well, if it weren't for what we call the bonfire, B&Q we call it, up the hill, we would not have had half of this done.
That's the annual bonfire they usually hold up at the welfare, which is where you get your timber and your other materials from. Yeah. And people just chuck stuff on there.
That's right. And we recycle it.
It's incredible, it really is. Amazing. I'd advise anybody to come down here and have a look and maybe join up and have a game of ball. It's,
Don't advise them, command them to come.
He was in the army, wasn't he? Yes, okay. Yes, well, sir, in that case, yes, I command you to come down and take a look. It's great, it's fantastic fun. Maurice, thanks ever so much for talking to me on Bow Radio, the new voice of Sherwood.
That's beautiful. Thank you very much indeed.